Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to Goals Galore. Welcome to my round 5, the last 16 FA Cup predictions for the 2024-25 season. In this one, of course, round 5, end of February, start of March, new technology is being used for the first time in English football. It's called SAOT, or in long, semi-automated offside technology, if you want to be cool. I do believe that is being used for the first ever time in English football. This weekend, the first game to have that will be Aston Villa versus Cardiff. No doubt it's going to cause a lot of controversy. And I also believe VAR is back in the competition now because it is round 5. So the technology kicks in round 5, basically, which is where it gets quite serious for all these clubs. We have got 8 games to predict. Let's get right onto it. As always, if you go on to enjoy, drop a like and subscribe as always, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's go. The first game is on the Friday. Aston Villa hosting Cardiff City of the Championship. Struggling this season are Cardiff, just above the drop zone in the Championship. In this one, Aston Villa have won the last 3 games at home against Cardiff. In this one, I think they make that 4, winning 5-0 in this one. Preston versus Burnley is a bit of a derby, isn't it, up there in Lancashire? This one will be a really interesting game. Burnley can defend really well, but on the opposite side of the pitch, not really do too much until late, where last time out they beat Sheffield Wednesday 4-0. They'd love to be scoring some more goals like that in this one against their rivals. The last 2 meetings between these two sides, between Preston and Burnley, has ended 0-0. Hoping we don't have a snooze fest in this one. I've gone 2-0 Burnley to get the job done in this one and see them head through. Crystal Palace versus Millwall, another big game for these two sides, and the fans will be right up for this one, of course. 2 big fan bases there. I'm looking forward to this one. Crystal Palace won 2-1 in 2022 in this fixture. I think it was an FA Cup game, that one as well, so interesting to see what will happen in this one. I'm going Crystal Palace. I'd love to see Millwall maybe make an upset happen, but Palace is strong. They beat Villa 4-1 midweek. Just on a different planet at the moment, aren't they? I think they'll get through quite comfortably here. 4-1 at home. It is the magic of the FA Cup. Anything can happen. I am back in Palace in this one, though. 4-1. Bournemouth versus Wolves is the next game to predict, and Bournemouth suffered a rare defeat in the Premier League midweek, losing away at Brighton. Wolves, of course, have been a bit hit and miss of recent, but they are still above the relegation zone quite comfortably, 5 points in the Premier League, although they're having an awful season overall. In this one, I think, Bournemouth actually have a good chance of winning the FA Cup this season, and I think they're good enough to do it, They've got a good fixture in this one to get through to the next one. I think that's exactly what will happen. I'm not writing Wolves off completely. Cunha is probably their best player, and if they're going to get something out of this game to get through, he's going to have to play a big role in it. But I am going to go for Bournemouth, 3-1 in this one. Man City versus Plymouth. Plymouth, of course, already beaten 2 Premier League opponents in the FA Cup and knocked them out in Brentford and last time Liverpool. In this one, they travelled to the Etihad. Is that a step too far? Well, thankfully for Plymouth, Man City are having one of their worst seasons in the last, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, really, aren't they? Because they're not in the top 2, top 3 of the Premier League at the moment, which is just crazy for Man City in recent years. As for Plymouth, of course, they are struggling in the Championship. I think they're 3 points off safety, but the goal difference is horrendous. New managers come in, brought a new mentality to that group of players. They are fighting for him. In this one, it'll be a close game, but I think first half will be really close, and second half City will just peel away. City narrowly got past Leyton Orient last time. I think they win 4-1 here in this one against Plymouth. Moving on, it's Newcastle hosting Brighton. Brighton have won the last 2 FA Cup meetings between these two sides in the competition, of course, albeit it was 12 and 13 years ago, so some time back, but that stat still remains a stat for now. In this one, at St James's Park, it'll be an interesting game. I can see goals galore in this one. I'm really excited to watch this one. I believe it's on the Sunday. I'm going Newcastle 3, Brighton 2, but anything can happen in this one. Newcastle already into 1 cup final. maybe they're on their road to another. Man United hosting Fulham next up at Old Trafford. Man United have won the last 2 meetings in the FA Cup at home against Fulham. In this one, can they make it 3? Well, I think it will go to penalties after ending 1-1 after full time and extra time. On penalties, I think it'll be Man United. Just so good in the FA Cup, aren't they? The current holders, I think they do it again. 5-4 on penalties against Fulham to knock them out. In saying that, if Fulham can get a result here, much like Bournemouth, it could be Fulham's season to lift a bit of silverware, you know. I do have a feeling this year, a smaller side like your Crystal Palace, I say smaller sides, I'm just not on about Man United or Man City really. Aston Villas, your Crystal Palaces, your Bournemouths, your Brightons, Newcastles, all Fulhams, all Forests even. I think one of them has a really good chance this season of winning it. And I think a lot of people would actually love to see that happen. In that game though, I think Man United progress. And the final game to predict is at the City Ground. It is Nottingham Forest hosting Ipswich. Now Ipswich, fun fact for them, which their fans won't want to hear, in the last 10 attempts of going to the City Ground and trying to get a result against Nottingham Forest, they failed to win in any of the last 10, which isn't good reading. However, this is the FA Cup where magic can happen, but my prediction is not linked off that. It's linked off stats that exist, unfortunately, for Ipswich fans. I think Forest will get the win in this one, 2-0 at home. It was a good result for Forest midweek, keeping Arsenal at bay of, you know, getting out of sight up ahead of them, and Forest staying in a good position in the Premier League table, having a great season there under Nuno. And so Ipswich, they are struggling. It looks like they will be going down, but it's not over yet. But FA Cup can still, I'd say, save the season, but it's not really about the FA Cup for Ipswich, is it? In this one, for us to go through and win 2-0. Well then guys, they are my predictions for round 5 of the FA Cup. As always, if you did go on to enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe as always, and I will see you in the next one very soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.